for joining us here on Making Google Plus Works. This is our friend Mark Traphagen. He's going to be helping us understand all the things we need to know, or at least the beginning of what we need to know about what's called Google Author Rank and why that's a cool and awesome feature inside Google. So take it away, Mark. How do you make Google Plus work?
Well, I think one of the most exciting things about Google Plus is that it's, of course, part of Google, and it's part of the overall strategy that Google is working on, which has many components, but one of those components, and one of the most interesting and powerful, in my opinion, and the opinion of several other people who have been looking at it, is this idea of having an established author rank, having a way that Google can, first of all, identify individual content producers. We're calling them authors for simplicity's sake, on the web, individually identify them, make sure that Google knows this is you, this is me, and then tie that author to his or her work across the web, not only on Google+, but wherever they create content. And I use content, not just writing, because most of us think about it in terms of producing blog posts, things like that. But it could also be videos on YouTube, could be all sorts of things. I don't think we've really seen yet all where this may go. But the basic idea is that Google, one of the things that it did in setting up the Google Plus program was to give this ability for for everybody to have a Google profile, now a Google Plus profile, that positively identifies you to Google, from which you can link to every place on the web where you post content, where you create content, where it's seen, and then a way to verify back to Google that this is indeed your content. Now, maybe first we should talk about why you would want to do that. Does that sound good?
Yeah, well, actually, I do have a question. Let's say
Okay.
let's say somebody copies your content. You know, you've written it, but someone else scrapes it. So how does Google know that you wrote it, not this other person that published it? Let's say they even have more power, meaning they're able to get it out there and more people see what they've done, which is really your stuff. Is there a way to help tie it into you? Is that what this does?
Exactly. In fact, that was one of the first selling points when Google first introduced this publicly last year. It was one of the first selling points to authors, to content creators, that this is a way to help Google to give credit to the right author. Many people who produce content on the web have seen this happen. It happened to me several times in the past, where I would search an important keyword for something that should bring up my content, and I would see some other site that I never heard of ranking ahead of me for my own content. And they had just taken it. They just scraped it, is the term that's used. They just scraped the content, pasted it on their site. Sometimes you'd have your name on it at least. Very rarely even a link back to your work. It was frustrating.
You're saying, hey, that's not fair, right?
Exactly. So, but there was little that you could do about it before author verification came along. But if you have a Google Plus personal profile and you link it properly to your content, Google can tell who is the original author. And the brilliant way that this happens is it's kind of a two-way verification process. We won't get into all the technicalities now. There's various ways that you can do it, and I'll mention at the end a blog post that I have where you can find the information on that, how to do it, how to get hooked up to it.
Great.
But suffice to say that on the one end, you do things on your website or any site where you post content that that point toward your Google Plus profile, or that Google can see at least your name, this is who you are. But the real key to it, the security key to it, is that then in your Google Plus profile, down at the bottom, if you edit it, you'll find a section called Contributor To. And what you do is you put any place where you post original content, you need to put a link to that in Contributor To. Because only you have access to your own Google Plus profile, or you should, that verifies to Google when they see that two-way link up, either using coded tags, which are known as rel equals author and rel equals me, or they've now come up with some simpler methods where if you just put your content on a site in a certain format, they may pick it up. A lot of us are convinced that is not working as well as the coded methods. But again, without getting too technical at this point, you've got that two-way verification so that Google says this belongs to Ronnie Bincer, to Mark Traphagen, and that's who we should give the credit for it for. So first thing that you get from it is the ability to Google to discern if it sees the same content in two or more different places, to have the ability to discern this is the actual author of that content that should get a boost.
All right, so I got a question then.
Mm-hmm.
If I have my own site and I'm pushing my own stuff, I mean, I publish my own stuff, then it's clear the author rank's going to hopefully connect between my Google Plus profile and my site. But what happens if I'm a guest blogger and I write something for someone somewhere else? Can you address that and how that works?
Well, the best situation is if you can get the owner of the blog that you're guesting on to set up the proper verification with your, especially if it's a guest blog, you probably have multi-authors. The best way, again, is to follow Google's directions to have an author bio page for each author on your site, and then link that to their Google Plus profile with the tag rel equals author, author in quotes. So that's added to the link.
So they're the guest post, meaning the site that is holding you as a guest blogger has to do some work. You don't have that total control, right?
Right, unless you had, unless they gave you some kind of administrative login to do it. But really, they should set that up. And I'm more and more where I get a guest posting opportunity, I'm asking for that to be done. And I usually, if the site owner is not familiar, I usually walk them through the benefits, not only for me, but for them and for anyone who posts on their site. So, like for instance, I do a monthly column now for Neil Schaefer's Windmill Networking blog, excuse me, and one of many social media columnists that he has there. I helped Neil get this set up for all of his bloggers, and we're all benefiting from it now.
Okay, so let me quickly ask, just to help sum up this, because we try to keep these relatively short. The main purpose of this author rank verification process is to help you identify that you are the owner of this content, and Google wants to give you that credit for it. Is that right?
That's right, but it has a lot of more benefits, and let me just cover those very quickly because I know we're running short on time. You qualify then to get the author photo in the results, which we've all seen by now. You get an avatar photo and links to the Google Plus profile, more of your content, so that enhanced search result. But probably the most important thing to me is what you don't see, what's behind the scenes, and that is that what we're calling author rank. Google has talked about this now for some time, that they want to begin to build profiles, as it were, on every author on the web that they can, where they begin to say, Mark Traphagen is a trusted author on these topic areas. And so when Mark writes about those and puts content out there, we should give him a little ranking boost in the search rankings if he's writing about that topic, because other people engage with him when he does that. People read those pages and share them with others. So you can begin to build up that author rank and help your own search rankings.
So that's going to affect our SEO, our search engine optimization of anything we write, or is it just particular things?
It's a little hard to tell, but it looks like from the patent that Google filed that our information is based on, that with any individual author will have a score for different topic areas. So you may write about a lot of different topics, and you might, for one topic, you might have a very high score, another topic you might have a slightly lower score. So the more trust level score that Google builds up in a particular topic area, the idea would be the more search rank boost you would get when you write about that area.
Okay, so you're thinking that it has something to do with the relevancy of what you're writing about, as well as having all the ducks lined up in a row, meaning you've got your author rank set properly, and that's one of the ways that Google Plus is helping you make it work, because they're making it easy to make this connection, right?
Yeah. And so the more that you write about topics in which you are authoritative, which you know something about, that gets engagement from other people, gets +1, gets reshared, gets liked, whatever, Google sees that. That builds up over time a profile, a database for them that says, in these topic areas, this author is a reliable author. We want to give people in our search results the best content. So one more way that we can do that is by finding these good authors. What most of us who are studying this think how this is actually being used and going to be used is not as a ranking tool on its own, but as kind of a force multiplier, if you will, of the other normal search result rankings. So if you have a page that has good link profile to it, it's already got some SEO juice to it, and then you put an authoritative author's content on that page, his authority is going to boost the SEO power of that page. That's how we think this fundamentally works.
All right, that sounds good. So basically the Google Plus juice, the extra stuff that is giving it to us inside Google Plus, is the ease of setting up this connection takes place inside Google Plus. And you're also saying, if I heard you right, the interaction that you get, your reshares, your plus ones, your ability to get people to comment, and maybe even, you didn't say this, but I'm going to throw it in, the value of the person that's actually commenting on your stuff might be bringing in some of this extra juice, right?
Yes. In the patent, again, that's one thing that is said very clearly, is that it matters not only how many comments you get, or plus ones, or reshares, or whatever, but who is doing that engaging, and what they are authoritative in. So if I'm writing about SEO, and you are considered by Google also authoritative in SEO, and you reshare my post or comment on it or something like that, it's going to boost my author rank for that post more than if somebody who is just an artist, let's say.
Or talking about cats on Catterday.
And that's their, Google recognizes that's their area of authority. They're going to have some boost, but not as much as you if you're in my same topic area.
Okay, so to quick sum up, this Google Plus really helps make everything work when we add in the author rank. And check Mark out, Mark Traphagen. Go circle him if you want to find out more about the details of how to get that set up just right. And then in the process, find other people in your space inside Google Plus that when you talk about a certain topic, find other people that talk about that same topic, interact with them, engage with them, because you may find someone that's got more juice, more power in the Google realm that starts to interact with you. That'll do nothing but help you. Is that a good way to summarize it, Mark?
Very good. And if people want more help on this, if they circle me on Google Plus and go to the About page of my profile, they'll find plenty of links there that link to my resources and other resources that will help you get this hooked up.
Great. Well, thanks for your time, Mark. And anybody else has got some great tips like Mark does that wants to share, please contact us at Making Google Plus Works, and we'll be in touch. Thanks, Mark.
Ronnie, thank you. I enjoyed it.